This episode of The Modern Rogue is brought to you by Roman.
Rogue Hair. Head on over to getroman.com/roguehair. Get free 2-day shipping and a free consultation. Also, hair.
Also hair.
Between subtle shading and the absence of light lies the nuance of iqlusion.
Occlusion?
Iqlusion.
Occlusion?
I-Q-L-U. It's the next one. Shh. It was totally invisible. How's that possible? They used the Earth's magnetic field. X, the information was gathered and transmitted underground to an unknown location. X, does Langley know about this? They should. It's buried out there somewhere. X, who knows the exact location? Only WW. This was his last message.
Walter White! Yeah, you're quoting from Breaking Bad.
38 degrees, 57 minutes, 6.5 seconds north, 77 degrees.
Do you smell toast?
8 minutes, 44 seconds west, X layer 2. Kryptos. We'll have to put some effects in there in post. It'll look better when we see it.
We're gonna keep it just like this.
Fine. Just like a filter, like a Snapchat filter to make me look,
you know what?
mysterious.
Will give me effects. Pretty cool, huh?
That was good. I like that.
Oh boy, Kryptos. I have not read anything about this for maybe 10, 15 years, but I know this is a piece of art that resides at the NSA.
CIA.
Really?
Yeah.
Already wrong.
Langley, Virginia.
Look at this guy, already wrong.
Who would have thought? I mean, you look like an authority about something.
I do. Says the guy wearing the Shark Hotel. Yeah, if I understand it correctly, it is a piece of art that, to be honest, I think in many ways, a lot of the stuff that we do at Scam Stuff, when we do Modern Rogue Originals and so on, we try to embed deeper story into things so people get a richer experience.
Yeah.
So in this case, you have, please tell me I get at least this much right. You have a bunch of text that is like carved out of steel, kind of rusty steel,
Copper.
looks like a, great, it's brown, I know that much.
It is.
The text on the piece of art was meant to be a puzzle that had multiple layers, and oh my God, this is my called shot. This is where I'm almost certainly gonna screw it up. Last time I read about it, I wanna say that there were like 5 layers, and the best decoders had only gotten 4 layers in or something.
You're real close.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the gist of it. Back in 1990, the CIA was building a new headquarters in Langley, and they decided to allot some money for an art project to beautify this courtyard in front of the place. So they contacted an artist named Jim Sanborn. Mr. Sanborn thought about it, and he partnered up with another CIA cryptanalyst because he wanted to make it a code that was in this art display.
Jim Sanborn is outside of the CIA
Not
community?
affiliated with the CIA at all.
Okay, oh, that's great. Straight up, hey, you do art. What would you like? He was like, I would like to borrow one of your chefs and describe a dish to him and have him make it for you.
Exactly, and so it's this beautiful installation out in front in Langley, and it's kind of it's like a 12-foot tall copper S-shaped thing, and it has granite and petrified wood, and there's like a little reflection pool or something. It's a serene area, but it looks like unspooling dot matrix printer paper.
Got it.
But it has around 2,000 individually jigsaw carved letters. That's just a jumble of letters.
So here's what I'm already thinking. How many bits of fidelity of information can you get out of this? Remember we did the thing with the shoelaces, and we realized how many different codes that you could encode depending on how you tied your shoes? When it's hand done, making all this up, I'm just guessing, I would imagine it's not just the letters, but also maybe the way they're made gives you opportunities to embed more information?
That's some of the theories. There are a lot of theories going around. Now, this was in 1990. And so Jim, he set up this art installation, and everyone was immediately fascinated by it, and they set to work trying to solve it.
Oh my God, I just realized, like, this is pre-web pages. This is pre-Yahoo. This would be Usenet news groups and stuff.
Yeah, exactly. And so there weren't a lot of Reddit groups where you could go and trade information or anything like that. So it's in 4 sections.
Oh, there are 4 discrete pages,
yes,
as it were.
The translation for each one presents a different riddle.
Okay, okay. You could do a simple substitution cipher, a Caesar cipher, Caesarian, right? Is that what it is?
Yeah, or Caesarian, yeah.
Yeah, I would imagine that would be, I'm making all this up. That would be a level 1 thing, and then in there would be a riddle that would be kind of easy to solve, and then maybe that would lead you to a harder code and so on.
Right. So it is riddles within riddles. And Sanborn has said that, yes, you will need to answer all of those riddles before you can solve the entire thing.
Oh my God, that's great. Okay, go on, keep going.
Okay, in 1999, the first person to publicly announce that they had solved the first 3 of the quartet.
9 years?
9 years. A computer scientist named Jim Galogly?
Jim Galogly.
Jim Galogly.
As he's known by his friends.
Yeah, exactly. A computer scientist.
Yes.
Cracked the first 3 with his Pentium 2, and he was showing off about that.
I have fond memories of my 90 megahertz Pentium 2 processor.
As do I. But once he made that announcement, the CIA said, we got a guy here who solved it in 98. Used 400 lunchtime work hours, pencil and paper, but he did it.
One of their own.
One guy, and he got the first 3 as well, but he did it a year earlier. And then the NSA said,
who wants a job?
No, the NSA said, oh, you solved it in 98? That's cute. We solved the first 3 in 92. And they never said anything until much later.
It's like reverse WWE. It's like reverse kayfabe. Yeah, like y'all are selling the bit by not saying a damn thing.
Yeah, they're intelligence services. Kind of what they do.
Good, yeah.
And so they had the first 3 done in 92, publicly 99.
Yeah.
That is the last time anything has been solved. This 4th one has been sitting there unsolved the entire time.
So I was wrong about there being 5 elements. There's 4 elements, but the first 3 of the 4 have been solved publicly?
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah. And what I was reading in the intro.
When you were having a stroke.
Yes.
Yes. What was that?
Okay, so the first one, between subtle shading and the absence of light lies the nuance of iqlusion. A bunch of cryptanalysts said, iqlusion, that doesn't mean anything. They think he made a mistake. He said, no, I just did that to make it more challenging. There are misspellings in all of these.
Time out. It's exactly what I would say.
Right?
Can't blame them.
But here's the thing. People have been struggling with this for decades. They've found errors. In fact, in 2006, one of these translations, Jim Sanborn came out and said, oh, I screwed up. It actually means this. In 2006, after they had said they solved it, 7 years later, he said, no, you didn't. I screwed up. It's actually this.
I mean, part of me wants to be mad, but part of me is reminded this is a government art job. And another part of me wants to remember that, like, I play buggy games all the time. Like I'm like, oh, there's that bug that somebody screwed up on. So I kind of want to give a pass on all of the mistakes. I'm okay with all that.
And it makes some of the cryptanalysts in the world furious because they're so certain it's a lie.
Oh, really?
They know that he made mistakes and he's not owning up to it. And so they're furious. The second one is, who knows? This is the one where you thought I was having a stroke. It was totally invisible. How's that possible? They used the Earth's magnetic field. The information was gathered and transmitted underground to an unknown location. Does Langley know about this? They should. It's buried out there somewhere. Who knows the exact location? Only WW. This was his last message. 38 degrees, 57 minutes, 6.5 seconds north, 77 degrees, 8 minutes, 44 seconds west, X layer 2.
I will be shocked if you tell me that is not a direct quote from some science fiction novel, like Last Babylon or something.
I honestly don't know. WW, I believe they have said it refers to a previous director of the CIA.
But it sounds like dialogue. It sounds like dialogue between 2 characters,
it
right?
Absolutely does. And that longitude and latitude, those coordinates,
right?
They're not real sure, but it either leads to the door to the cafeteria or
Modern Rogue World Headquarters.
Or Modern Rogue World Headquarters, yeah. There's CIA agents all over the place. Or like somewhere else, like right near the courtyard.
Okay, so why would you, if you're making a piece of art, it sounds like those coordinates are very close to wherever the piece of art is, right?
Yes.
Okay, that's a weird move.
Some people have theorized that just looking at the sculpture and not worrying about the code necessarily will reveal some sort of maybe shadow play, or that maybe the shapes are similar to something else.
Time out. Could be like at a certain time of the year. Imagine the shadows.
Right.
Wait. We just talked about occlusion or whatever. Like, it would surprise me not at all if this was some kind of like on the right time at the right day, looking at the right or being at the right coordinates, you were able to see something that wouldn't otherwise be seen.
Could be, because there are like weird lodestones in the courtyard and other things related to the sculpture.
Lodestones are natural magnets, right?
Yes,
Okay.
exactly. Now we have the third one. Slowly, desperately, slowly, the remains of passage debris that encumbered the lower part of the doorway was removed with trembling hands. I made a tiny breach in the upper left-hand corner, and then widening the hole a little, I inserted the candle and peered in. The hot air escaping from the chamber caused the flame to flicker, but presently, details of the room within emerged from the mist. Can you see anything?
That sounds like some Edgar Allan Poe bull.
It does,
Right?
It does. That is actually a quote from the archaeologists as they unearthed King Tut's tomb.
Okay, so why that then? Well, we've already played with coordinates. Could it be, I don't know.
Something buried in the walls?
I just said, I started talking and then I realized, Brian, 1990, still not solved. 21 years later, stop talking. Sorry, 31 years later.
I really want some CIA guy to message you and go, I don't know how you did it. Go home, boys.
There's a magician in Texas. He's real good.
Those YouTubers got us again.
Scamstuff.com.
Every now and then, Jim Sanborn will give out clues.
Right.
He has given out 3 clues to the 4th set. It is Berlin.
But before you say anything, we have learned enough about code breaking, right? There's something about the poetry of 4 that makes me suspect. We know that the most unbreakable code is a book.
OTP.
A one-time pad, basically. And it's only when you have the source material that anything makes sense.
Right.
And if it has not been broken, that to me is
That
code
is
for that. It's gotta be a
really-
one-time pad thing that you can only unlock. Sorry, what were the clues?
Berlin.
By the way, you're welcome, CIA. All right? I'm not even gonna charge you for this one.
It's Berlin, clock, and northeast.
Huh.
Yeah.
Okay,
Strange,
so
right?
I don't know. But if the 4th one hasn't been broken, I feel like it's gotta be a one-time pad thing, and I've gotta feel like it's a physical thing in a physical place that has to be physically found.
That's what I'm thinking. But of course, I know nothing about the codes. I will say that you were right. The first 2 used a combination of like veneer. I'm probably mispronouncing that type of cipher.
Vigner, I think, a veneer. Yeah. We've used a version of that,
Yeah, those were the first 2, and then a substitution cipher for the 3rd one. They can't figure it out. Now, here's the thing. One of the leading cryptanalysts that has dedicated her life, as have many people, to figuring out what this is, she's starting to become convinced that there is a mistake in there that is keeping them from solving it.
So it's so buggy, it's broken forever. Because you're right, if it's a book code thing, oftentimes what'll happen is, I mean, this is why you have QA labs in video game companies, is an early broken thing can become a very big, unfixable broken thing. But then why keep it, I guess at that point, maybe you put it in your will, where it's like, once I'm dead, tell everyone.
Upon his death, it will be auctioned off, and he will donate all of the money to fight the climate crisis.
That's amazing!
So I'm thinking, we need one of these sculptures out here, right?
Our own version, right?
Our own version, probably simpler.
You know what would be great?
Hobo code.
No. Hear me out here.
Okay.
What if we knew an artist who worked in ceramics? And what if we had a rabid fan base who was educated in the ways of clever ciphers in storytelling? What if we maybe had a kiln, like
Over there?
right there?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then we could actually have. I'm sorry, I can't even pretend this. Just please help us write this.
Let's do this. Let's do this.
Yeah. modernrogueshow@gmail.com, please.
Yeah, I like that. We've got some clever fans. Oh, you're working now.
That's the sound of my own mind being blown.
Yeah. The episode is shot. Brian's off chasing this now.
I'm sorry.
Wrap it up.
Are we still talking about Kryptos or
That's
whatever?
it. That's all we got. That's all we got. Boy.
All right, Murphy. How would you describe Captain Jean-Luc Picard?
Wow. Eloquent.
Courageous.
Courageous. Compassionate.
No other words.
Adventurous.
How would you describe my dad?
Tan. Jolly. Very like, they're both over 60. Was your daddy Starfleet?
How would you describe a bald eagle?
Patriotic.
God damn it. Look, here's the thing is you don't have to go bald if you don't want to. We have a little thing called science, and because of we believe in science,
you may have heard of it.
You can get real scientific treatment to maintain your hair, keep what you got, bring it back if maybe it's gone. Who knows? Talk to a professional. That's the important thing. Head on over to getroman.com/ and I love this URL, Rogue Hair.
Yeah.
If you want rogue hair, then you got what else do you get? You get a free consultation.
You get a free month on a quarterly subscription. You get the free consultation. You get free 2-day shipping.
2-day shipping.
And you get hair.
And you get hair.
I mean, they can't guarantee that this could be yours.
I'm not gonna say that I started 2 years ago, and I'm really glad that I've been using minoxidil because, whew, that'd be like admitting that I run fast because I do
soda.
Go to getroman.com/roguehair. Get a free month towards a quarterly subscription, free 2-day shipping, and a free online consultation.
Plus hair. You also get hair.
You also get hair.
We can't promise. I mean,
But that's something to aspire to, though,
I'm just
right?
saying.
Offer and link in the description below.
It's not Kryptos. That's the dude from God of War.
Boy. Decode the message, boy.
Wait, is that? I've never played the game.
Come on. Come
I assume you're making a.
Yes, that was a reasonably good Kryptos. I have pictures of me photoshopped to look like Kryptos.
Please.
Would you like to see them?
It sounds like you're about to admit to a crime. Stop talking.